Good morning, everybody, and thank you for coming to today's restaurant networking group. Today is April the 12th. My name is Howard Appel. I'm the founder and publisher of today's restaurant news, and I will be your host for the day. If you'd like to join us, or if you're a restaurant owner, like to give us, like to ask us for help, give us a call at 561-620-8888 or go to our website at trnusa.com and take a look at our YouTube page, which is gaining momentum now at today's restaurant. And you can get on that from our website as well. We have a tab that we put on there. So all you do is click on that. It'll take you right to it. We have two new people on the board today, and I'd like to introduce them. We have Jeff Scott. Jeff Scott is with Food Service Pride. Jeff, why don't you tell us who you are, what you do, where you are, and how we can reach you?
Yeah, good morning, everybody. Pleasure to be with you. I definitely enjoy the humor and the kickoff here. So after 40 years in the restaurant business and food service and hospitality business, decided to start my own consulting firm just this past January. And, certainly have a passion for developing programs and people. Service to me is just something I've done my whole life. And so hoping to make this kind of the capstone of my career. I was looking for a name, not just Jeff Scott Consulting or Jeff Scott Advising, and was able to secure the domain foodservicepride.com. So my company is officially named Food Service Pride LLC. I'm the owner, founder. Company of one at this point, looking down the road to certainly expand a little bit. I've already connected with one other colleague of mine in higher education, and we're starting to collaborate on opportunities. And so my website is foodservicepride.com. I can reach by email, jscott@foodservicepride.com. My phone number, 607-280-8689. And look forward to connecting, and we'll try to attend as many events as I can. Pleasure to be here.
Okay, thank you. Where are you located?
Oh, Atlanta. So I live technically in Lawrenceville, but Atlanta.
Okay. Well, welcome.
Thank you.
And our second new face is Jack Bastide or Bastide?
Bastide.
Bastide. Okay. I know
Yeah.
Jack for a while through another company. So tell us about yourself, Jack.
Yeah, sure. My name is Jack Bastide. I am from Orlando, Florida, originally from Brooklyn, but don't hold that against me. I always say that to people. Basically, I'm with a company. It's called TextBang. And what TextBang is, it's a platform that allows you to quickly and easily build a opt-in, permission-based opt-in text list. And it's something that you can basically use to communicate with all your customers in less than 3 minutes with a 98% open rate. It's something that any business can use it. I work with all kinds of businesses. In fact, some of you guys on here might want to use it to build a list of your customers, but it works really good for restaurants. It's like a no-brainer for restaurants, okay? We have all kinds of things. Basically, we give free signage. If you could look to my right, I guess it's to my right or left. I don't know. It's mirrored image. But I have we provide free signage where we basically put up the signage, and that allows the customers to opt into the list. And I just want to give a quick testimonial from one of our clients. We have hundreds of these, but let me give you one. This is from Pepper's Mexican Grill. It's in Shalimar, Florida. We've been using TextBang for 9 months now. Our first location has over 1,000 people in our database. We send out a message on our slowest days, and within minutes, we get an extra 100 or more people coming through our doors. Thanks, TextBang. So it really, really works. Like I said, all kinds of businesses, but really good for restaurants. And they also have two-way texting. So you could send out a text, and if somebody replies, you could communicate if they want to make reservations or whatever. So anyway, I look forward to, meeting everybody on this and that's basically it, what I do.
How do we reach you?
Okay, so if you could look on my thing, my cell is 407-557-5356. Again, 407-557-5356. You can see it above my head there. And we're still working on the website. We're doing a new website, but if you go to textbang.com, you can find out a little bit about what we do.
Explain to me, if I'm a customer and I walk into a restaurant,
Right.
how does the restaurant obtain my text?
Sure.
My cell number.
There's a lot of like practically every POS will allow you to build a text list, but nobody does it because it's a pain in the neck. You got to, oh, can I have your phone number? And then other restaurants, some restaurants will actually just throw you on their list if you call them, right? Like I call a lot of restaurants, and then the next thing you know, I'm getting texts from them. Well, I never asked to be on their list, and that's illegal.
That's
so
illegal.
basically, so this is a permission based. The way it works is we have the signage. We give you a 5-foot high life-size sign to put in your business. We can also give you table tents and flyers. You can put something on your social media, or even like a link. You can send somebody a link if you have an email list. Basically, they opt in. The main thing is you want to give a good offer. Like let's say, and you only have to do the offer once. So for example, let's say, get 25% off your meal, join our VIP text list. So the people will join to get that 25% off. Now they're on your list, and now you could basically text them whenever you want. And we got 3 plans starting as low as $1 a day. So that's how it works. They can scan a QR code with their phone, or they can text, Mario's whatever, text pizza to 12345. They can either text it or they can scan a QR code, and that's how they get on the list.
Okay, sounds good.
Cool.
I have an idea.
By the way, my buddy Jeff is here. He's my partner. He's just listening in right now. But anyway, that's Jeff over there.
Okay, good. Welcome, Jeff.
Anyway. Okay.
He's on mute. That's right.
Yeah, he's on mute.
So let me double back to the other Jeff, our new consultant. What are the areas that you do the consulting in? Are you doing marketing, or your operations, or you...
Yeah, thanks, Howard. So really my focus is business and management support, looking at business strategy, looking at business plan development, companies in trouble financially, companies looking to grow, expand, pivot, and really also looking at the performance of the management team itself. Maybe somebody has been promoted from within, the rock star with hospitality, but just, still learning really how to lead and manage others. So really management consulting as kind of a comprehensive term is one scope. And then a second scope that I'm pursuing, and I believe there's merit to it, is fractional management solutions, where again, leader of an organization, from my experience, higher ed, college and university food service companies or departments on large campuses, associate director or director moves on, that's a gaping hole that's often taking 6-9 months to fill now. As we know, the business doesn't stop. So fractional management solutions. And again, what I will probably do early on is take some of those assignments myself. I have another colleague who's very interested in those assignments. And then down the road, kind of build a bench of folks that, maybe are hitting retirement or looking again to pivot away from full-time responsibilities as a GM or a director, and have the ability and the capacity to step in someplace for maybe a month and or several weeks, through a transition, and then hand the baton off to the new leader.
Right. So
I gotta say, I love fractional management, man. That's a good idea. I love it. I've seen something on the radio or listened to it where they do fractional HR, like instead of hiring an HR manager, you basically hire them for whatever per month, and then they have answer. I love it, man. Great idea. Love it.
Thank you.
So basically your client is somebody who's been in business for a while, not a brand new restaurant.
Yes. Yeah. I'm not, certainly looking to be the launch expert or, the startup expert, but existing businesses. Yep.
Well, the reason I brought that up is we have a member in our 11 o'clock group who's a kitchen designer consultant. So there may be some kind of synergy with you. And actually, the next person I want to call on probably there'd be some synergy with also Tracy, right?
Yeah, for sure.
You're up.
So, all right. Thanks, Howard. So I'm Tracy Pumo. My husband and I own Skyline Analytics. We are a full service FP&A consulting firm specializing in data analytics, process automation, FP&A consulting, and the like. So we will aggregate a company's data from multiple ERP systems, bring it all together, and fill in any gaping reporting holes that they might have so that management can make better data-driven decisions on what they do. So I can be reached at 561-512-1933.
Okay, thank you. All right, let's go to Brian Auerbach.
Good morning, everyone. Brian Auerbach. So I get the data to Tracy so you can do all that fun stuff with it. So InfoSync Comprehensive Business Process Solutions. So we are an outsourcer of accounting and payroll services. So we help multi-unit restaurants that find accounting and payroll frustrating, whether it's growth, retraction, or efficiencies that they're really looking to put into place. InfoSync provides the people, process, and technology for accounting and payroll. So you can focus on running the core business, which is obviously the restaurant itself. We also have a service that we've released in the last 18 months called third-party delivery recovery. So any restaurant that works with Uber Eats, DoorDash, or Grubhub, we help them recoup up to 1 to 3% of their delivery revenue, which goes to customer disputes, etc., and that automatically goes against the restaurant. So if you've ever ordered from DoorDash, Uber Eats, or Grubhub, and they forgot your drink or it was cold or whatever happened, you complain, that goes directly against the restaurant. So we help the restaurant recover that revenue because it's not necessarily their fault. We're able to recover about 90% of those revenues. So it's a nice little extra product to bring back that 1 to 3% of revenue. Brian Auerbach with InfoSync Comprehensive Business Process Solutions. I can be reached at 786-670-1027. And my email is Brian, BRIAN.Auerbach, AUERBACH @ISSVC.com.
Okay.
Brian, I got a question for you. If I may interrupt. I was reading an article where Google does chargeback to vendors for whatever reason. And they were comparing that to the chargebacks from Uber or Grubhub.
Mm-hmm.
And they're saying that all those companies operate almost the same way, that as soon as there's a complaint from a customer, they automatically take the money back out of the account. Is that how it works in that industry?
100%. Yeah,
And then
you're guilty until proven innocent. So
right.
Yeah.
And I guess the article was talking about with Google or Amazon, that people say, "Hey, I got this back and it wasn't any good," and they're putting old shoes in the box, sending it back to the person, and they bought a sweater.
Yeah, it's kind of funny to kind of jump on Chris's bandwagon with the colleges. I know he was talking more about the institution itself, but this is a huge business for us in college towns because, I mean, remember being in college, right? You didn't have any money. So this is a way people go, oh, the sandwich came, sandwich never came, or whatever. And again, you're guilty till proven innocent. So, you may think like, oh, it's $5-6 here, but if you times that by 5 or 6 times a day over the 30 days, it hits the bottom line pretty hard. So, and the numbers that we're providing, I mean, for most of our clients, we're getting them at least probably would be equivalent to at least a month of rent back. Into some restaurant change depending on the amount of numbers we have. We're getting back enough that would pay for a general manager, a district manager. So there's some substantial numbers in this.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Ed, you want to do yours?
I don't follow Chris today.
I was gonna go to Chris and to make everybody suffer. Yeah, why don't you wait? Let me do Chris. Go on, Chris, make him suffer.
All right. Good morning, everybody. Chris Kaufman, putting races in great places since 1981. primarily working on behalf of restaurant companies to find talent that they would like to have in their company to increase the value of their company. And we've got a corporate chef position just called in over in the panhandle of Florida. And we've got an area director opportunity at the Atlanta airport. So, and these have all happened since our last meeting last Friday. And so things are heating up. Historically, the second and third quarter of the year are the high water marks for recruiting and for companies to hire people, because it's just the best time for people to move around as opposed to the first or fourth quarter. And that's what we do. This past week, trying to learn a few more things. I did learn the definition between a friend and your best friend. Okay. A friend will help you move. Okay. Your best friend will help you move a body. So
Then you should definitely watch Gravesend.
Just a reminder, this is being recorded.
Oh my God.
That joke was written by Brian Auerbach, okay? So don't shoot me. I'm only the messenger.
Well, just remember, in Florida we don't bury, we just bring them out to the Everglades and let them.
Yeah. So, but Chris Kaufman providing all-star talent. And we have a wonderful telephone number where you can remember how to get a hold of us. 404 All-Star, 404-255-7827. 404-255-7827. All-Star talent is awaiting for you to increase the value of your company. Come back to see us.
Hey, thank you. He was mild. He was mild today, Ed. You got off easy.
Yes, that's true. Oh my God.
Go ahead, Ed.
Friday morning. Yep. My name is Ed Gerton with Seacoast Sales. We're an equipment supply company that specializes in frozen dessert equipment. And we're located in Orange Park, Florida, which is just outside of Jacksonville, or South Georgia, whatever you want to call it up here. We have ice cream machines, batch freezers, equipment to help the chefs in the back reduce labor from Carpigiani. We have display cases from ISA, IFI, and GTI Design. We have blast freezers from GTI Design. We have slushy machines. You can reach me at 904-334-4489. Have a good day.
Okay, thank you. And let's go to Jimmy Olsen. No,
Jimmy Olsen.
it's my Cub reporter.
How about Cookie from 77 Sunset Strip?
Oh, I'm to that.
Ryan, good morning.
That's my new name, Jimmy Olsen. Sorry. For y'all who don't know, I've been taking some pictures for Howard lately, and one of the pictures was with Ed and Red. If y'all haven't seen that,
Who's Red? Who's Red?
Well, Red didn't show up on Saturday, not Saturday, on Thursday in his red suit, so.
He did not. You're right. He looked much more handsome. He looked a lot thinner with the red suit.
Yeah.
What Brian's referring to is Ed and Ryan did a trade show, and I asked Brian to take pictures at the show for our issue, and there was one fellow there wearing an all red suit, but we didn't know his name, so I called him Mr. Red.
Sorry, Ed.
He went
Just
down.
to be careful, Mr. Red is trademark. That is a comedian down here in Miami-Dade, so just be careful.
The other Brian.
Well, Red is a guy that represented these slot machines that went into the convenience stores. So,
Wow.
oh
That's
my God! So that was pretty entertaining that week. But again, I'm Brian with Rogue Financial Group. We are a commercial equipment financing company. We will finance all over the country. I work primarily in the hospitality side. I work with startups. We will small projects, large projects. And also in the hospitality side, we will do convenience stores, breweries, bars, other things relating to food. There's some other areas we will finance him, but I primarily work in the hospitality side. Again, we are a commercial equipment financing company, so that is a commercial loan to the client. Does one of the nice things about it does have a tax advantage to the client that they can write off. Again, Brian with Rogue Financial Group, I can be reached at 404-723-7222, and I'm Brian at rogueleasing.com.
Okay, thank you. TRN Terry.
Where do I begin? Okay, so I'm going to be a little bit more serious. Brian, first of all, I have a lead. Brian, help me.
How about
No, Brian.
Jocelyn?
Josselson.
I have a lead for you of a company that is opening up a second location and starting a GoFundMe. They already have a big location, but they're opening up another concept along with another location of this. So I will give you off the record. And remember, anybody that wants to come here, restaurants, invite any restaurants, because when Howard does his opening, he says, you know, for restaurants who want advice, who want this, who want that. Also, everybody here can help that restaurant open their restaurant, open another restaurant, keep it running. And what I do and my team is provide a monthly leads report, which there isn't anybody out there in business that has a business that does not want a lead report monthly, complete with the owner's names, email addresses, about when the place is opening, what it is, do they have other places? It's a big report. So in Florida, we guarantee you 50 brand new leads a month, guaranteed. And it's last month it was over 80. In Georgia, they're somewhere around 40-ish. So I can't do a guarantee there because Georgia's a little bit of a different thing for us. It's hard for us to get a lot of stuff. We're getting them now. We figured out other places to go to get the leads. And that's what we do. Anybody that wants a sample, you can email me for a sample. Now, it's not going to have the email addresses, but you can see what it looks like, how it's formatted. It's in an Excel spreadsheet, so you can sort by zip, city, however you'd like. The places that have recently opened are going to be on top, but everything under that red line is under construction, is in development, is in just getting licensed and started, just broken ground, something like that. My email is Terry, TRRI, at trnusa.com, or you can go on our website and it is there that you can request, you can follow the instructions, but the website will give you, it'll come right to us. And that is what I do. And I think it's extremely valuable. And I always tell everyone, if you can find another lead report anywhere close to mine, I'll give you a year free. As to date, for the last 9 years, no free lead report so far. So I'm very proud of that. It's a very tedious job, and it takes a lot of hours and a lot of people to do this, but we do it. And for the group, the price is different than what you're going to find on the website, which is $8.99 a year. For this group, it is nowhere near that. So anything that you want to know, give me a call, 561-620-8888. And by the way, I got to choose that number years ago, 20 years ago, 8888. So there, Brian.
26 years ago.
No, I was going to say Chris Kaufman, 8888. There we go.
All right. Jeff, you want to add anything or that we might have missed from your intro? Jeff Scott.
Yeah, I think just from a cultural or a branding scenario, I think there's a lot of successful companies that are doing great, but they don't have a great culture, and one of the aspects I'm trying to long-term figure out under the name Food Service Pride is some type of pride index, if you will. It's certainly a lot of hospitality companies have surveys, and so have customer satisfaction ratings that they live and die by. It determines people's increases and ratings and bonuses and all kinds of fun stuff. And in my definition, and using pride as an acronym, as an assessment and a foundation for consulting, is looking at the strength of their partnerships, obviously their results, innovation, development, and empowerment. And so partnerships, pretty straightforward. Results, customer satisfaction and business results. Innovation, again, just some of the stuff we're hearing about, texting programs and data analytics. There's a lot happening in the business landscape, and where's the restaurant on that? Developing programs and people, pretty straightforward. And then a word that's easy to say, but not always comfortable in for organizations, is empowerment of that leadership and that staff to really do their best work. So that's kind of just a little more of the genesis of Food Service Pride, and welcome and look forward to reaching out to some of you folks, after this call and getting your perspective, frankly, on that brand that I over time will build. Thank you.
Thanks. And Jack, you want to add anything?
Yeah, a couple things really quick. So I have a website for restaurant owners called restaurantsuperstar.com. I would love to interview any of you guys and put you up on the site. That's one thing. Second thing is I'd also like to make a quick offer to the group. Like I said, this texting thing is great for restaurants, but it's also good for any kind of business. We normally have a $99 setup fee to get this program because we got to get an 800 number and all this stuff. If any of you guys are interested, I'll waive that for you, and I'll also give you the first free month of the service if you want to build a list of your customers. So I just want to throw that out there.
Okay, great. Thank you. Does anybody have anything else? Anything else they want to add to our intros? Okay. I have a couple of topics, and now that we have Jeff here today as a consultant, I'm sure he'll be able to jump on some of these topics. Here's a quickie. This one. Well, let me give you this little quickie first. These questions come from actual restaurant owners who write into some of the different groups that I belong to online. And so if I find them interesting, I bring them into the group for discussion. Here's one I think that's a quickie. It's a quickie, but if you look a little deeper, it's not so quick. So let me just read it to you. Okay. Fellow restaurant owners, how many times would you allow a more tenured cook to walk off the job mid-shift, abandoning her post and leaving the business in a bind before you say enough is enough to replace her?
I would say once.
That's well, yeah. There's the quick answer. I've shown this particular employee a lot of grace and patience because she's been with me on and off for about 10 years. But when things get hard, or if another employee says something that she doesn't like, she heads for the back door. As a business owner, I refuse to refer grown women. I refuse to referee grown women. The employee in question expects me to pick sides. This is a business, however, not romper room. I'm exhausted.
I'm
Sounds like
surprised she's lasted 10 years. That's surprising that this particular person has lasted 10 years, but who knows?
it sounds like she thinks she owns the restaurant, and no matter what anybody else says or does, she's right whether she is or not. And she sounds very spoiled. Like she's not willing to work with anyone unless she likes them.
Yeah, but go ahead. It also comes back to the issue of making an employee feel, if you want to call it special or appreciated, or giving them something that would make them not do that. What do you think, Jeff?
Well, a couple things, jump out. One is hopefully there is some type of policy around walking off the job that everybody on that team understands. Another point is, if you're the restaurant owner and you don't have a general manager, supervising the staff and holding them accountable to the workplace policies, then that's you, right? So she can't just shirk that. But I think also equally important to all of those scenarios is really open lines of communication. I think one of the things in all my years that I think I was really good on was getting a pulse of the team. And when I had these large campus dining operations that I ran, I walked campus every day, of course, and helped out with events as needed, where it certainly stretched beyond the team. But getting that pulse of the morale, being comfortable or making staff members comfortable to say, I'm dealing with a personal situation, whether they disclose it all or not, I'm going to need a little time or adjustment to my schedule, could do a lot. But it sounds, unfortunately, like this person, there's that gap of information, hits their breaking point for whatever reason, and just walks out the back door. That can't continue, obviously. So I think there's a number of things there that just really need to be dealt with.
It sounds to me like the owner, like you said, doesn't have standards in place. For example, a recipe book.
Right.
Because if that chef walks out, the next one in doesn't know what's going on. So that has to be established up front.
You didn't say it was a chef.
A cook.
Is she a chef or is she a worker? Is she
cook.
Doesn't matter.
You
You walk off the field of play, you're out of the team. See you later. Next.
Now
that's the first. That's your first reaction.
Well,
I used to work for a company like that, and I did that, and I was a national sales manager, and somebody tried to tell me something, and it was one of the bosses, and he tried to tell me that what I was doing was incorrect. And I showed him charts and reasons why I was doing it and that it was correct. And the other boss sided with me, but this boss, who had the majority stake in the company, wouldn't give. So I said, you know what? Find someone else. So I went out, I closed his door. I went downstairs to my office, got my stuff, and he came down and he apologized. So sometimes it depends on the position. I mean, you have to see, why is she walking out? What position is she in? And is there a brand new person coming in with their own attitude? I mean, that person is not valuable yet. They don't know anything. So there's a lot of stuff to consider here, in my opinion. Only because I did it. I have first-hand experience.
Well, I don't know why they kept you.
They kept me because
Yes, you try that with me all the time. And I keep throwing you out and you keep coming back.
well, the other people see that it's condoned, then the
Right.
other people will, I mean.
Isn't individual circumstance, like if it's the same girl doing the same thing all the time, they got a problem with the girl and they have to talk to her.
You said something before that was, I guess it's kind of right. It's a little different when you do it in public. Like when a cook walks off the line, everybody sees it, and everybody
Right.
sees that she's allowed back. What you did was in the confines of an office and two people, you and the two bosses. You know, that was like a family squabble.
Not really. The rest of the staff was there.
Well, like I said, I wouldn't have let you back.
Well, that's I got other jobs, believe me. Kidding.
Well, I had a guy.
You guys think it's easy. I
Uh,
have to live with that mentality.
I had a guy I employed as a recruiter in my firm many years ago, and I found out through a third party that he had set up his own recruiting firm on the side. Okay,
oh my
and so the morning after I found that out, I said, as soon as he walked in, I said, "Listen, we got to talk." I said, "I understand you have your own recruiting firm, another part of Atlanta, and we're going to have to part company." And he said, "Well, not that many people knew about it." As if I'm the one that screwed up. So I said, "Well, it's just not cool. And, go ahead, pack your bags, see you."
Yeah.
And that's what we did. I mean, and then this guy, after that, he called we were doing a lot of business in the early days of Olive Garden when they had 3 Olive Gardens. Now there's 800 or something. And he called Olive Garden and he said, "Let me tell you something. I'm the guy that got all those people that Chris presented to you. So you need to work with me and not Chris."
Wow.
In Olive Garden, our relationship was so tight, they called and told me this. So I said to the guy at Olive Garden, I said, "Tell you what, put me on hold right now. And on your other telephone line, call any one of those 8 guys you hired for me last year, any one of them, and ask them if they ever heard of this guy." Okay. He said, "Oh, no, we believe you. That's fine." Yeah. I mean, you got to protect the business. That's the whole deal. You got to protect the business. And just like no call, no show is, and when it's no call, no show, I will listen to their story because you never know. It could have been a tragedy in the family or something, and when they do come in, have them sit down and tell me what happened. If it's just, "Well, Chris, I just spaced it out," that's not the same as a family tragedy. And then in which case you'd give them maybe some leeway. Happens again, it's over. Got it? And I mean, the value of the business is what it's all about for everybody who's investing their time and energy in the business. So for a copy of this sermon, send $9.95 to Chris Hoffman.
Well, like you said, you have to protect the business first.
Yes.
Because that's got a life of its own, and the moving parts within that business have to all be focused on keeping that alive. And
Right.
if you have somebody who's part of the staff who's, I'll call it a cancer in that group, you got to get rid of them, or make sure that behavior stops, because it looks, like I said, it looks bad for the other people.
Yeah.
But when I let that guy go, who set up his own firm on the side, I thought, I could really use his revenue that he could bring in because he had a pretty good year. But I thought, no, this is, I feel like I'm the quarterback and he's the offensive guard. He's giving away the signals and he's not blocking. So I would just soon have nobody there than Benedict Arnold. So.
Right.
That's the most hurtful thing you could do to a business owner, is to do something like that, or have somebody from outside the company propagate something like that. Because you're when you start a business, and you put your heart and soul into it, along with your money and your time. And when somebody does something like that, that's like stabbing you in the back.
So
we tell this owner, get standards and don't accept that behavior.
absolutely.
All right. I thought that would be a quickie, but and I knew there was some underlying concepts in there. Here's another one. This one is a little.
I got a quick
Okay.
question for Brian. How do you do that? Like when you're away, how do you get your image on there? Is that something you had to set up through Zoom or through?
Yeah, you have to have an account with Zoom, and then you just put whatever image you want.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Thanks.
It's actually the better looking version of me, I think.
That other picture, I saw that on Cops the other night.
I believe you're confusing it with America's Most Wanted, but thank you very much.
I'll be right with you.
Let me read this other question for you from another restaurant owner. Any advice on getting, this would be good for you, Chris. Any advice on getting open 7 days a week? Currently open Tuesdays through Saturday. Having trouble finding anyone who wants to work Sunday and Monday. Need to get those extra 2 days to help offset costs. But other than a cook, need 3, and some servers, can't find anyone else. Averaging about 175 customers a day, have a bar and a destination not downtown or in a public transportation route. I'm the chef owner and have a GM and sous chef that are very trustworthy, but don't want to do Sundays and Mondays for family reasons. Literally no candidate for assistant manager among the serving staff. Tried indeed, but no help.
Good luck.
That's a tough question.
I would say, I mean, I'm just throwing this out there. I would say make it a rotating thing. Like, hey, you got to work every other Monday or every other this or every other that, because some people just don't want to be committed to certain days or whatever. But if you could find people to rotate, that might be a thing. But I would also say try to improve your business on the other days so you have a couple of days off. That's what I would say, basically. But either way,
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I'm gonna probably put it right back to Tracy's core, but I'd focus on the analytics of what you're doing, your cost of goods sold, everything else. See what you can do, and also maybe promote if you can maybe open an hour earlier on the days you're open, and kind of cover up the hours and the time. Because if you're open 2 more days, you also have the expenses of being open those 2 days as well. So,
I mean, I think the things that stuck out to me when you were reading the summary, Howard, was that you're not on any public transportation routes. So my question would be, what kind of salaries are you offering people to come to your business? And it could be that some of your servers and other folks are relying on public transportation or too far outside the scope of where your restaurant's located, that the time and expense that it takes to get there just doesn't make it worth it. So, I mean, you can always attract people with higher wages, but you can't offer higher wages unless you're making the revenue. But I don't think forcing or requiring people to work on days they don't want to work is going to help your cause much, because they'll just go look somewhere else.
Yeah, just the thought, if they don't have catering, get a van like most restaurants, wrap it, brand it, and deliver drop-off catering to expand.
Yeah, I mean, you have to think outside the box. Like Brian just said, you have to make sure that opening those 2 days, that the expenses don't offset the income. it may not be worthwhile to do it. Any other thoughts on that? All right, any other thoughts?
Most restaurants close, the owners close on Monday because it's a slow day, like the one around the corner that you love. We always think to go there and we're like, oh crap, it's Monday. They're closed. But Sundays, you got to think of, where is that restaurant? Are they in the Bible Belt where they don't are not going to work because they have family day and church or, whatever. That's the only day their whole family's together. It just depends. There's a lot of, I think there's like Tracy said, you can't force somebody to work. They'll just go find something else. I know I would.
I think I can nail this subject down. Chick-fil-A, the volume of a individual Chick-fil-A is something like $8 or $9 million a year, and they're closed on Sunday. So it's a question of what you have and the demand for it.
Well, that's a little unfair because Chick-fil-A also has a cult following because of their values and how they promote the company over and above just the food.
Yeah, but isn't Chick-fil-A being sued by the state of New York for closing on Sunday?
No, they're
That's only
not
on
renewing
on the
on the
highway.
turnpike. Yeah, they're not
On the highway,
renewing the
okay.
contract on the turnpike because they want to pass a law that says you have to be open 7 days for travelers. And then Chick-fil-A obviously is not open on Sunday, so they're about to engage in litigation as to whether they can renew Chick-fil-A's contract or not.
And
Okay.
they don't need that turnpike location, that's for sure.
Well, back in the day, most businesses were closed on Sunday.
Yes.
The turnpike location is probably the only location that can handle the line of cars, pulling into the drive-through.
We got a Chick-fil-A right down the street that they just built. And let me tell you what, is never empty, only when they're closed.
Yeah.
And then there's cars to get in for when they open.
They had that whole to-do with the zoning in Boca a bunch of years ago when Chick-fil-A wanted to open because they were concerned about the traffic spilling out into the street. Was it off of Palmetto, I think? I don't even remember.
Right.
That's the location I'm talking about.
Oh,
the
really?
one on Meadow Park.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's open and they've got 2 gigantic lines and there's never any problem with traffic. It's the way they did it. They took the whole parking lot and made 2 or 3 lanes. So it works. And that's the one I go to.
Yeah, they got it down.
Yeah, they did. Absolutely.
All right. Well, we've come to the end of our hour. So I want to thank everybody for coming. And if you'd like to get in touch with us, give us a call at 561-620-8888 or go to our website at trnusa.com. And if you want to show somebody some of our videos, you can go to our YouTube channel, which is at Today's Restaurant, or you can access it through our website on the tab. And thank you all for coming. Have a great weekend, and let the sauce be with you.
It